Welcome to Top 10 Football F***ups, the COVID-19 special. Some of you won't know what this is, but essentially I used to host a show called Top 10 Football F***ups on the Football Republic, which garnered a frankly ludicrous following featuring Mystical. And if you didn't know what it was before, you definitely don't know what that means. This was way back when I was a financially destitute comedian willing to trade catchphrase-based, bite-sized listicle football humour in exchange for currency they would send to my bank account, eventually. Then I quit that to go and do an even more bite-sized / less work for me version for the BBC, on which I wasn't allowed to swear or criticise any football team they might be filming with in future weeks, such as Everton, or anyone from England, or anyone from the rest of the world. Eventually I made enough money to quit these cynical, phoned-in football rants and focus on my true dream of not doing them. And despite the fact I received 9 tweets a day for 2 years from 3 different accounts, I didn't bow to the frankly enormous pressure to bring back football fuck-ups. Just as I never opted to come to Brazil or fuck off and die. But now, thanks to a global pandemic, I might have to do the last one. I might be doing the last one. In the meantime, as coronavirus has cancelled all my other work for the foreseeable, I'm back! Time to pick myself up, dust myself off, get some of that fighting spirit, and go into the next fixture and bring back football fuck-ups. Oh, they've cancelled all the football and there's no fuck-ups to speak of. Cool. At number 10, it's Lady Karen Brady. That's her official title. I haven't become an alt-right YouTuber in quarantine. With football temporarily suspended, debate began to rage as to how and when seasons would be finished and winners would be crowned. Liverpool are currently top and set to win their first ever Premier League title. But with the season in limbo, people are starting to wonder if they will miss out by default. For any international viewers, in England we have a word for this situation: hilarious. Oh, it is honestly perfect. It's so much fun. Oh, just no. Lady Brady then came out and said the whole season should be null and void. We should write it all off and start again next year. That's weird, isn't it? The vice chairman of West Ham, who sit just above the relegation zone on goal difference alone, suddenly wanted to sack off the season completely and start again next year. Absolutely no agenda there as she picks up the ball and says next goal wins. Here's a ball. Next goal wins? Are you fucking kidding me? It doesn't matter that it's nearly the end of lunchtime, Gavin. We're 10-1 up. That's not how things work. Sorry, I apologise. It's been a long self-isolation. Brady has now clarified her position, saying we have to focus on ensuring the safety of players and staff. And if we can't play the remaining games, then who's to say who would have got relegated or won the league, but crucially got relegated if we can't see the end of the season? The old clarify your position by repeating exactly what you just said technique. Big fan of this technique though from Karen Brady, and as a result I will be applying to The Apprentice UK, on which Karen Brady is one of Lord Sugar's assistants. I'll be waiting till I get fired for not correctly calculating the margins obviously, and just as he goes to point the finger, I will say, you know what lads, I think we should render this series null and void. If you fire me, I will burn this building to the ground, and we have to focus on ensuring the safety of all of the staff, all of the camera crew, the contestants, his lordship. Who's to say who'd have lost The Apprentice, who'd have won The Apprentice, but crucially who'd have lost The Apprentice without us finishing the series? But we have to ensure the safety. And that's why we just render the whole thing null and void. And null and void is actually what I call Karen and Claude. Sorry, I didn't realise you had security, so I will go. Can I just say before I go, thank you for the opportunity. And just to clarify my position, I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm thankful for it. At number 9, it's hands. Imagine that, but then another one for the plural. Hands. 2 of them. By now, your hands should be pretty much scrubbed down to the bone as you've spent the last 2 months obsessively washing them while quietly singing happy birthday to yourself twice like a serial killer. Well, loads of footballers have got involved in the hand washing challenge, which is where they film themselves doing just that to raise awareness of their excellent bathrooms. They're nominating each other so that the campaign grows. Unfortunately, most of them are doing it wrong. Musa Sissoko, for example, washed his hands for just 10 seconds and at the risk of sounding like his wife, was a bit too hasty with the fingers. Sorry, it's been a long self-isolation, I did say. FIFA then published a video of 5 top managers discussing the 5 top tactics. That's tactics, very clever stuff because of football, FIFA, tactics. Tactics to stop the spread of the virus, sorry, it's serious. It started with Arsene Wenger saying, here's the 5 tactics you need to know, but really it's just the top 4 that I'm worried about. Before Pochettino said it's really best to have spare hand sanitizer at home in case you lose your bottle. Mourinho then says it's Tanguy Ndombele's fault for not doing more to stop the virus, before Senegal manager Aliou Cisse said that we really must stop touching our nose with our fingers, which should have been said by Yogi Low. All in all, not really a fuck up, but there's a global pandemic on, mate. There's not much football to talk about. You're lucky I've bothered. These are real footballs. Number 8, football teams on social media. How will they cope, we wondered, with no football to report on, no team news to share, no live commentary to do, no new goals to gif, and for Spurs, no need to do their weekly post on the 90th minute of Not Our Day. Well, for some of them, old videos of better times back when football was still played in shorts and t-shirts, not face masks and rubber gloves. For others, with live games of noughts and crosses, which is actually quite a good nickname for Tottenham given their recent player ratings and tactics. It was Southampton versus Man City, who stepped in after Southampton got ghosted by Norwich. Unfortunately, the game ended in a scoreless draw after a deeply tactical battle in the middle of the park. Man City called it a crucial point on the road in difficult circumstances, which made a nice change, as I half expected Pep to come out and say that Southampton were playing anti-noughts and they should be ashamed. Elsewhere, Hull battered Leverkusen 4-0 at a game of Connect 4, and Karen Brady challenged Liverpool to a game of nulls and voids. I may have misread that. Not everyone has a contingency plan for the time off. I mean, look at what I'm doing. Number 7 is Sheffield United's Ben Osborne, who tweeted, "Today I've discovered that the Homes Under the Hammer theme tune is very similar to the Bargain Hunt theme tune. Someone should look into this." I have to do a different accent for it. Obviously at first this was just dismissed as some accidental Partridge time-filling drivel, but then I looked into it and he is bang on. Here's the Homes Under the Hammer theme tune. Here's Bargain Hunt. If that gets removed for the rights, I'm going to look absolutely insane. Outrageous. I can only imagine Ben Osborne's house is now covered in red string, all pinned up on a pinboard, connecting little bits of evidence, trying to see how high up this conspiracy goes. Frankly, I can't wait till Netflix release a new show called The Osbournes, but this time it's based on a family of Sheffield-based TV theme-tune detectives. Or we can all rewatch the original Osbournes and remember the time that Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off a bat and then start connecting our own conspiracy dots to the origins of this very pandemic. Legally, I have to say I'm joking, even though I'm not. Number 6, Mason Mount. After Callum Hudson-Odoi tested positive for coronavirus, which is the only medical test he's passed for a long time, the whole Chelsea team was sent into self-isolation to avoid the possibility of passing the virus on to others. But little Mason Mount couldn't avoid going for a little five-a-side kickabout in, you guessed it, public. Billy Gilmore would never. Naturally, Chelsea got wind of the situation and Mason Mount had to apologise, saying, "I hold my hands up," which at this stage is the official NHS advice. Declan Rice was also at the kickabout, but he's not in trouble because the West Ham board sent him there to try and delay the season further. Mason Mount spending his no-football quarantine by leaving the quarantine to go and play football is still preferable to number 5, which is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He spent his time off being taught a dance move by Little Mix's Perry Edwards. Little Mixlade-Chamberlain did some rhythmic hot-stepping up some marble steps for an Instagram video, which, given his recent injury past, must have sent the Liverpool physios absolutely loopy. Also quite the story if he did get an injury. Oh, Oxlade-Chamberlain, out for the season. Who did it to you? Rough collision with Sergio Ramos, was it? Cynical challenge with Otamendi. Where are you going? An absolute calamity as Phil Jones collapses into your Achilles face first. Come back. Nah, it's just Perry Edwards from Little Mix trying to go up 3 stairs. Ah, fair enough, mate. Perry Edwards, she's a known shithouse. Number 4, quite simply, Clive Tyldesley commentating on his wife cooking a lasagna. It's excellent stuff, as he proves commentators need to stay match fit as well. But I am absolutely in love with the dramatic shift from his light-hearted riffing to the very serious coronavirus-based message at the end.
Here's the oil. Here's basil. Now pepper. Tomato puree. And there it is. Results! Try and keep the smiles on your face. We've got some elderly neighbours we've been to check on today. Do the same. Stay safe.
Since then, he's released another one, backed by popular demand. And I use those air quotes as someone who's currently doing a video backed by popular demand. This one is of him cleaning the shower drain. Popular demand. He's got his t-shirt tucked into his jeans and he's used Comic Sans for the titles, really leaning into every aspect of his demographic. And as his wife appears at the end of the video wearing nothing but a towel, all that's left for us to do is thank God Richard Keys and Andy Gray didn't have the same idea. Number 3, oh boy, it's a beauty. I'm rubbing my hands together, but that's just because of the anti-back. It's Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho, the gift that keeps on giving, yo. I'm sure you all remember when Ronaldinho embarked on his singing career with a song called Sozinho. I'm sure you remember. It was a very significant part of this series. You don't remember? Wow. 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 And after all that, when in 2018 he decided to embark on a career in politics, standing for election for the Brazilian Republic Partinho. Well now, and you're not going to believe this, he's in prison. Why couldn't he just be like the rest of us and go into quarantino? He got arrested for trying to enter Paraguay with a fake passport that said he was a natural citizen of Paraguay. Mate, you're one of the most recognisable people in the world. We all know where you're from. I'm really tempted to say Fijinho here, but I must not. He said he was invited to Paraguay by the owner of a casino, thank you Lord, and he was there for the opening of a charitinho. This is easy, but that charity is now being investigated as part of a money laundering scheme, yo. The charity is called Angelical Fraternity. I mean, if it's not a money laundering scheme, then it's a cult. And if it's not a cult, then it's a strand of LSD. He was denied house arrest and could face 6 months in prison, with his actual lawyer saying this actual quote. The courts have not taken into account the fact that Ronaldinho didn't know he was committing a crime, because he didn't understand he'd been given a false passport. He is stupid. Drama just follows this guy around, and we absolutely need a minimum of 4 Netflix series about this guy's life since football. The whole ordeal hadn't dented his spirits though, as pictures emerged of Ronaldinho playing football in the prison yard. He always was the best at FIFA Street and shankings. We're at number 2 now, and there's been no Arsenal whatsoever. I know you're probably not concerned because you know that Arsenal are normally number 1. Well, given the current global crisis, it would feel a little bit flippant putting Arsenal at number 1, even jokingly, so you're going to have to settle for number 2. The truest victim of coronavirus is this format. Jayden Thorborn, who used to train with Arsenal and Crystal Palace, but crucially Arsenal, just got out of prison. Apparently he was in there for selling passports to some Brazilian legends. Don't know, didn't read it. Anyway, since coming out, he has stolen an American Express card from a lady he was sharing a hotel room with and gone and spent £3,700 on that card while she slept. Obviously he got caught and now he's back on charges, and this is not the first time he's done it. His lawyer said he got used to a certain lifestyle before his career was ruined by injury, and he does these things to try and recapture that lavish lifestyle. What he's doing is obviously wrong and terrible, but we have to understand this is a mental health issue. The boy needs help. I can only imagine the mental damage it does to a person thinking you're about to live your dream and then having that completely shattered by finding out you've got to play for Arsenal. Jayden had to pay the money back to the woman with an interest of £122, so all in all, worth it. But at number 1, no, not Arsenal, it's UEFA and the Premier League. Obviously now this video is being released, they've postponed all the leagues around the world and they've moved the Euros to 2021. But wow, did they take their time. I understand, you want to wait as long as possible to avoid disappointing millions of pounds who are looking forward to coming into your bank account. And I get it, when the first Premier League player to test positive is Benjamin Mendy, you're thinking, do we need to change anything? I mean, does it really matter if he's self-isolated? He can run the Man City Twitter account from home. But waiting all the way until Arteta gets it to prolong the Premier League, when Leicester and Chelsea players have already tested positive, is frankly ridiculous, ludicrous. I've lost my edge. So at number 1, it's Arteta. And therefore Arsenal. Oh, it is Arsenal. That's it for Football Fuck-Ups this week, and hopefully forever. I won't see you next time. Until then, I'm off to commentate on a video of Clive Tyldesley commentating on his wife making lasagna in quarantino. Goodbye.